Hey guys, welcome back to Asagao Academy Normal Kids Club. And where we left off, we got introduced to JonTron. So, yeah. And such, obviously. So anyways, let us start by voicing John. I'm JonTron, by the way. Call me John. That was a horrible impression.
Hana, nice to meet you.
Hana? That's a cute name.
Well, thank you. So, how long have you had Jock?
Since middle school. We've been together for 4 years now. Ain't that right? I'm not listening. Yeah, well. I love him to death. I don't know what I'd do without him. It seemed like life would be a lot easier without him, but who was I to say? We arrived at the brick building. A white sign surrounded by poppies declared it to be, unsurprisingly, Poppy Hall. Which room are you in?
Room 206.
Seriously?
Yes?
That's my homeroom. We're in the same class. John laughed and clasped me on the shoulder. Wonderful. I guess we'll be seeing more of you then, right?
Right.
Together we entered Poppy Hall. Poppy Hall was lined with fluorescent lights and Asagao blue lockers. The lack of students milling around in the hallway indicated we were a bit late. We ran up the stairs and made it into the classroom just as the bell rang. My heart caught in my throat. Thankfully, the teacher hadn't come in yet. Instead, students clumped into tiny pods and milled around the classroom, catching up on vacation news.
John. Thank you so much for showing me to class, John.
No problem. I'll see you later. He waved and disappeared into the reeling mass of students. I glanced around the room, looking for an empty seat.
Hana!
Mai peeled herself out from between a cuddling couple.
Was that JonTron? Were you talking to JonTron?
Yeah. Mai's eyes widened and I couldn't help feeling a little smug.
I realized I didn't know the way to class after you and I got separated, and he offered to walk me.
He made a high pressurized squeal.
JonTron walked you to class? Oh my god, you have to tell me everything!
She grabbed me by the wrist and pulled me to an empty desk in the back corner of the room, right next to the window.
I saved you a seat.
Anime tropes. I sat in and took off my backpack, hooking it on the side of my desk. I was a little bit worried the books inside were too heavy for the bag to handle, but so far it held up well.
Sorry we got separated, by the way. I can get a little chaotic sometimes. So, tell me, what happened? What do you say? What do you smell like? Does he have peach fuzz? Is it rough?
Wait, what?
These are very important questions I am asking. You need to answer them. Was his hair super silky, or did it have the roughness of a dog's coat?
Before I could answer, the door to the front of the room slid open, and a tall woman strolled in. The class went quiet and obediently slid into their desks. My heart beat furiously, blood rushing through my ears.
Class?
Good morning, class. The teacher, The teacher's melodious voice swam through the room, calming the buzzing high of students back from break. Man, I wish my school was that simple. My shoulders relaxed and my fear ebbed away. Pressing every button. Okay. I'm your teacher, Shizuki Wakahita. You may call me Miss Shizuka. Sorry, I'm pronouncing names wrong. The emphasis she placed on the word led me to believe calling her Miss wasn't a mistake she would take lightly. Some of you might have noticed that we have a new student this semester. A hail of murmurs passed through the class. Some people glanced at me. Nope, there's the sphere again.
Would you like to come up and introduce yourself?
I nodded, stood, and slowly walked to the front of the room, counting my steps to make sure I wouldn't fall. I
passed the class, took a deep breath to introduce myself, and noticed a small face in the crowd. There was John sitting with two other boys. Hey, there's Peanut Butter Gamer and Shane there. Okay. With two other boys wearing normal boots jackets. One of the boys, the tallest one, was staring at me, which is PBG. The barest of frowns on his face. Something about him seemed really familiar. Wait, he was PBG, wasn't he? The other founder of the Normal Boots Club? Suddenly all the strength left my knees. What's this song? Okay, what should I do? Why was he frowning? Was it possible that I already made a bad impression on him? You had to be kidding me. If he didn't like me, what did that mean about everyone else? Wouldn't they follow his lead? I swallowed. I literally swallowed when I said that. The faces of the class began to congeal, forming one giant blob. You moved from Amaririsu, right? I nodded and swallowed again. Then, like a beacon of light, I noticed Mai smiling, giving me thumbs up. It is so cool. Mai is such an inspirational and encouraging friend. It's so cool. That's right. What would Mai do in this situation? I'm going now. Hopefully you can hear the audio. Did you guys hear that? Hopefully you guys hear that. Yeah, don't bully her like and just go up. Okay. I bowed my head to the class and I clapped politely. When I looked up, PBG wasn't frowning, but he still seemed oddly confused. Maybe he always looked like that. No! I've watched his videos. Okay. Thank you. You must be seated. I returned to my seat, heaving a small sigh. The hardest part of the day was over. Shizuka began to talk about standard procedure of the semester, the rules for classes, when homework was due, and that sort of thing. It was all very similar to my old school, and I spaced out in spite of myself. A brief flicker of movement caught my eye. PBG again. I glanced at him, and his head snapped back to the blackboard. What was his problem? Class continued on like that until finally the bell rang and it was time for lunch. Mai stretched her arms over her head and yawned. I actually need to yawn that time. Okay. Man, I hate the first day of class. It's always so boring. Dang it, Sonia, I'm making a video! Okay. Weren't you looking forward to it this morning? Something about exciting things happening? Well, yeah, but I already did. You met Jontron, didn't you? Now I've got nothing left to look forward to, she sighed. And I was hoping to see Gerard... I keep mixing up Gerard and Jared. They have very similar names. I was hoping to see Jared before class, too. She slouched and flew across the front of my desk. Seemed like this would be happening a lot. Is Jared really that hot? Sonia, stop. No, okay. Okay, is Jared really that hard? Mai snapped back up, her eyes flashing. What did you say? If you stare directly at him for too long, your nose will melt off. I've seen it happen before. What? Anyways, let's head to lunch. I'm super hungry. Oh. I looked at my backpack and held it up. It held up well through class, but I worried that if I didn't take up some of my stuff out now, I might do some permanent damage to it. Especially with Satch's book in there. I couldn't exactly afford a new backpack. I need to put something in my locker first. But if we don't go now, they'll run out of sesame seed buns. Oh no, not the sesame seeds! Oh. That's okay. I'll just go on ahead. Come find me, okay?
Alright. I was so lucky to have someone like her as a roommate. Quickly as I could, I went to my locker and shoved the book inside. As good as a book it was, I was infinitely happier that I had Mai around so I didn't have to read it. Without her, who knew what I would do with myself, especially with PPG staring at me like that. Maybe I could ask her what was up with him when I met her at the cafeteria. It might just be the way that he is. Cheered, I headed for the cafeteria. I carried my melon bread through the minefield of people, searching for the now familiar sight of Mai's red hair. Where is she? I couldn't see her anywhere, and there were almost no empty seats. All around, my students circled each other, laughing and joking, sharing bites of food and splitting the cost for sodas. Suddenly, I felt very obvious and very alone. Isn't there anywhere I can sit? Just then, I spotted a table at the front of the room. A lone boy sat... Oh, jeez, please, it's brutal moose. A lone boy sat at it, stabbing in spaghetti with the vigor of a Roman general. He was having a hard time with it. I moved closer to him, working up the courage to ask to sit with him. Well, no wonder. He was eating his spaghetti with a spoon. Wait a second. This guy was in my class, wasn't he? I saw him that morning at the front of the room. And he was wearing a jacket just like the normal boots, but different. Also, if you don't know, Brutal Moose is actually part of the Hidden Block. So yeah. A golden gray jacket with an 8-bit block on the front. Was he a member of another club? Or maybe he was friends with them. Hey, what? Hana! Oh, Mai. Mai appeared between me and the boy who glanced up at us before returning to his spaghetti. Thank goodness I found you. I saved a table for you in the back. Oh. I looked at the boy and then back at Mai. Come on! She grabbed my shoulder rather forcefully and pushed me to the back of the room. Hey, what's wrong? You were so lucky I got here when I did. That kid is Brutal Moose. His real name is Ian. He is from the Hidden Block Club. The Hidden Block Club? Yeah, the rival club of the Normal Boots. He's really weird, I mean. She looked around her to make sure no one was listening, but we were completely alone in a little corner of the cafeteria. He speaks in Comic Sans. Why does everyone hate the font Comic Sans? Strange. Whoa. Yeah, it'd be better to stay away from him, especially since you've already gotten to know some of the Normal Boots guys. What are you talking about? I only just met John today. You saw PBG and Satch. Okay. And Jared. Really? Wait, dang it, I skipped dialogue. Again. Really? Is that what you thought it was? Either Mai was blind or she was a serious case of wishful thinking. Oh, totally. It was so cute. Just like my favorite manga. You meet in high school, fall in love, and then go off and fight aliens together. Why does that remind me of something? I don't know. I don't think that's going to happen. Have some faith. Have some faith in yourself. That's totally what's happening. So, now that you're in good with PPG, can you introduce me to Jared? Oh, was that what she was getting at? A hot flash of doubt seized me. Was it possible that Mai only liked me because she thought I knew the Normal Boots guys? That couldn't be the case, though. She was so nice. Still, looking at her shining and eager face, I couldn't talk myself out of the idea. I actually thought PBG didn't like me. What? Okay. Why would you think that? He was glaring at me. Man, you just don't understand. It's a love triangle! A love triangle! Who's the third person then? Wait, a triangle now? I can see it. Stars practically erupted from her eyes. PBG, I can't! But Hana, I love you. But my maidenhood,
Where are you going with this? Fan fiction is good. I slammed my fork onto the table. Maya looked pleased with herself. Okay, I'm just kidding. You're really cute when you blush. You almost match your hair. That's not fair at all. I beg to differ. That smug face. Still, I searched my mind, eager to change the subject. That was an impressive scenario. What? No, it wasn't. I just made it up on the spot. Mai laughed nervously. Oh, so that girl who was talking to me when we got separated? Mai told the story of her past friendship with this girl, and they were an eternal arch nemesis. Okay. Apparently, they had some bad blood. I nodded, choosing to take the time to relax. Before I knew it, we were finished eating. We got up and tossed our trays together as they headed towards the door, though I hesitated. Hey, I forgot something back at the dorm. Oh, need help? No. I'm totally okay. I'm just going to get it. I'm just going to go get it. I'll see you later, though, right?
See you later.
Okay, see you in class. I waved and Mai sprinted off in the direction of the dorm. Alone again, I crossed my arms and headed back to Poppy Hall. Large groups of 7 or 8 people were laying in the sun, playing catch and eating lunch on the lawn. It looked like fun to have so many friends like that. I smiled. Maybe this new school would be better than my last. Without students inside of it, Poppy Hall looked like an abandoned hospital. I agreed. My footsteps echoed as I climbed the stairs to the 4th floor. With a sigh, I opened up my locker and pulled out the book Satch gave me. It was a good thing I brought it after all. I stepped into the classroom and saw a flash of movement by the window. A boy sat on the windowsill. He jerked up when I came in. That reflection looks like shame. He was silhouetted by the afternoon sunshine, so I couldn't quite tell who he was. Hello? I'm sorry, did I bother you? The boy stood up and shook his head, then crossed to... I'm doing my British accent way too early. Okay. Then crossed to a desk on an opposite side of the room. As he passed, I was able to see him clearly. Another Normal Boots jacket. This guy, he was Shane from the Normal Boots Club. How on earth did this keep happening to me? He's your main character of this game. Shane sat down at his desk, fidgeted with his hands a little, then turned to look at me. You're a new girl. I nodded. My name is Hana. It's nice to meet you. He nodded. Shane. Silence filled the space between us. Panic built up inside me. This was my chance to get in the Normal Boots Club, and I was blowing it. I walked to my desk and sat down, setting the book on top of it. Shane looked at me unsmiling. You're part of the Normal Boots Club? Yes, I am. Why? He spoke as if it were a challenge, almost glaring at me. I just saw your jacket, so... I trailed off. The jackets were really cool.
Okay.
Yeah, they are. Silence once again. He seemed skeptical, as if he expected me to crawl out of my skin and reveal myself to be a large amphibian reptile. I had to do something. Who knew when another chance like this would come? Shane didn't seem friendly. In fact, he seemed downright suspicious. Surely he wasn't on to me already. Maybe it was better not to risk it. I try talking to her and give him the space. Why not try talking to him? So you play games then? Shane looked over to me. I've always been interested in video games, but I didn't get to play them much growing up. They're really expensive, and my dad couldn't afford them, but I used to go to I used to go over to my friend's house to play there. Shane didn't respond. Now what? I was out of stuff to say.
What did you play?
What? Oh, Mario Kart. We'd go into battle mode on the triple deck. He would drive around by himself on the top level, and I tried to booby trap the lowest level.
There's a good spot next to the ramp.
Hey! He doesn't have that serious face. That's nice.
I'd wait there until my mom came down racing down the ramp to find me, then smash her head with a red shell. Shane's angry stare faded. He was smiling. Sort of.
He made the whole room seem 10 shades brighter. Or maybe I was more relaxed. Your mom must have been mad.
She was, but she always let me do it. Probably on purpose.
Did your mom...
A door slid open. Mimi and her friends and a couple of chattering girls entered the classroom. They stopped and stared from me to Shane. It was clear, though. It was clear they thought they were interrupting something, even though we were sitting on opposite ends of the room.
Sorry. No, it's fine.
I'd be lying if I wasn't happy they caught me talking to the Shane of the Normal Boots Club. The girls went to their desks and sat down.
Sat down. Okay. What were you...
Shane was staring at me again, an odd, hurt look on his face. I immediately felt that I was caught doing something I wasn't supposed to. Didn't know what I was trying to do, but, I mean, it wasn't like I didn't want to talk to him. He was an interesting guy. It's not like I only talked to him because he was in Normal Boots. Lies! Okay. But he turned and pulled out a notebook and some pens and scribbled away, thoroughly ignoring me. Okay, if I don't get a PBG ending, then I might go with the other choices that I have. The air was stuffy. I tugged at the collar of my shirt, sweating. The girls kept looking at me over their shoulders as if expecting something. I smiled hesitantly at them. I smiled back, then started a conversation amongst themselves. The atmosphere was broken. I heaved a sigh of relief. What was up with these Normal Boots guys? John was really nice when he spoke with them, but PBG and Shane seemed to hate me. They were anything but normal. I waited for Mai to come to class, wanting desperately to tell her what happened. But when the bell rang, Miss Shizuki started teaching, and Mai still hadn't come. Class came and went. The bell rang, and I was alone. PBG stared at me for the entirety of the class period, his face growing more and more menacing by the minute. How was his face not stuck in a perma frown? I would never know. Shane and John didn't bother talking to me as they left the classroom, and the other students paired up around me. Hey, Mimi, would you like to exchange in a casual discourse this evening? Yeah, of course. But why are you talking like that? Because she's a robot. She's a cyborg. I stuffed my book into my jacket, into my backpack, and headed to the dorm. With a sigh, I unlocked the door to my dorm room. As soon as the door opened, I heard, Hana! What? Mai and I lay in a heap on the floor. I'm so glad you're back! She wrapped her arms around my head and nuzzled me. What are you doing? Come, look! She got me up and helped me to my feet. Without Mai's face filling my vision, I saw something that had changed. My goodness. The dorm room looked nothing like what it had before. The posters and fairy lights were still up, but now the window had a light pink curtain. Really? I didn't notice. What did the old room look like again? That cast a warm haze around the room. It does look pretty. A brand new white carpet was on the floor. Pillows were piled high in a mountain on the top bunk of the bunk bed. Even our chairs had been replaced with new cushy leathery ones. What happened here? Sorry I didn't tell you, but I wanted to surprise you. I thought this would come in yesterday, but it was delayed by a day. I wanted to set it up to be a big surprise. Still not done yet, though. She gestured to some small potted plants around in a neat rows in her desk. on our desk.
What the hell? Do I ever?
We finished setting the room up, switching a few objects here and there, in order to better facilitate the feng shui, which Mai told me was excruciatingly important because Animal Crossing... Man, reminds me of Animal Crossing. Okay. She especially wanted to make sure our room was filled with reds and pinks and coupled items, though for what purpose I wasn't sure. Animal Crossing. Okay. We collapsed with heavy sighs on the floor, then heaved great big yawns. I don't like it. Dang it! Why is this game predicting my every move? Okay. It's not even the end of the day yet, and I'm so tired. Me too.
Wait!
She shot up at Silly with a jolt.
We should go get some ice cream.
Ice cream? Really?
Yeah, something to celebrate being roommates. The ice cream here on campus is genuinely good, I promise.
I don't know.
And I'm paying.
If that's the case, he made an offer I can't refuse.
Sweet, let's go.
Literally, sweet. The school shop was in a side building off the cafeteria, packed with instant noodles and giant bottles of soda. Students wandered the aisles aimlessly, clearly here more to spend time than money. Mai paid the cashier and we grabbed our ice cream cones. Mine the one covered in sprinkles. Oh jeez Louise, this is gonna be bad. Okay.
Whoa, this is delicious, isn't it? We're lucky to have such good food on campus. This place would be awful if we didn't. I nodded and was about to respond when I noticed the commotion outside. Let's see what's going on.
I grabbed my arm and dragged me outside. There, 3 boys wearing normal boots jackets were shouting at each other, each of their faces turning purple.
This again?
What are you talking about? I'm clearly the one who possesses the proper masculine form. You're right, I'm taller than you, more attractive to boot. Come on, guys. Can you not see these muscles? Paul, Nick, and Josh. From continue. Nick pulled back the sleeve of his jacket and flexed his arm. These guys always go on weird stuff like this. They're very energetic. Oh, yeah? Josh got into a downward-facing dog yoga pose and grinned. Look at this butt! Just look at this! What I don't understand is why they don't just ask Jared. Oh, yeah? Paul kneeled down to the ground, then took off as a sprint, heading straight for us. Check this out! He sprang into the air in a graceful ballerina leap, spinning through the sky, and finally came straight for me? Oh, I knew this was gonna end well. When I opened my eyes, I sprawled flat on the ground, covered in dirt. Something cold and wet oozed into the top of my blouse.
Hana, are you okay?
I sat up. Chunks of ice cream fell from my blouse to my skirt. Ugh, what happened? You ran into someone, you idiot!
My uniform. It's ruined.
For a few seconds, silence. Stickers rippled around me like the whining of cicadas. My throat closed up, water stinging my eyes.
And not this. Not again.
I stood up, prepared to walk away with